condamné.
A busy movie villain can't be everywhere at once. That's where these cronies come in.
It's just struck my brain. Well, that must hurt.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movie henchmen.
After we call the police, they'll waste hours trying to negotiate, and then you can tear the building apart looking for this man. But until then, we do not alter the plan.
And if he alters it?
For this list, we're taking a look at characters from films that do the bidding of villains. We've excluded Darth Vader because, while he was the right-hand man to the Emperor, he was much more than an ordinary disposable thug.
What is thy bidding, my master?
We're also excluding Disney henchmen because we've already got a list for that. And as we may be revealing the final outcomes for some of these sidekicks, a spoiler alert may be in order.
Death comes for us all, Urokusaki, but something much worse comes for you.
Number 10, the Nazgul, the Lord of the Rings franchise.
Nazgul!
At one time, the Nazgul, or ring wraiths, were men.
They were once men, great kings of men. Then Sauron the Deceiver gave to them 9 rings of power.
After becoming absolutely corrupted by the Rings of Power, however, they turned into some of the scariest creatures in all of Middle-earth.
Now they're slaves to his will. They are the Nazgul.
Ruled and commanded by Sauron, they seek the One Ring day and night, wearing black robes and brandishing swords.
Is he going to die?
He's passing into the Shadow World. He'll soon become a wraith like them.
Feared by all decent creatures in Tolkien's tales, these horrible bloodhounds made everyone's skin crawl when they first rode their hellish horses onto the screen.
Feast on his flesh.
One particular standout is the Witch King, who took the helm of Sauron's forces during the Final War.
You fool! No man can kill me. Die now.
Number 9, Agent C.M. Kruger, Elysium.
Activate Kruger.
When we heard that District 9's breakout star, Sharlto Copley, had been cast as a devious villain in Neil Blomkamp's follow-up film, many of us wondered how Copley would do in the role.
Hello, little guy. It's the sweetie man coming.
When we saw his turn as Agent Kruger, however, we knew it was a genius move.
That's what I'm talking about!
Kruger is a loose cannon mercenary who's ready, willing, and able to complete almost any task.
I'm gonna find that little gangster, and I'm gonna take what's in his head. This place is mine now!
Although his boss may be pulling his strings, he is truly the force of evil in Elysium.
For God's sake, Kruger, are you listening to me?
Yes. Yes, man.
Outfitted with an exoskeleton that increases his already impressive skills, Kruger completely steals the show.
You little f***er. I'm gonna take your f***ing head off.
Number 8, Tatsu, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise.
Never lower your eyes to an enemy.
Yes, Master Tetsu.
Toshishiro Obata, who is a swordsman and martial artist in real life, brought a true gravitas to the role of a strong, silent second-in-command to the one and only Shredder.
But you've caused me enough trouble. Now you face the Shredder.
Perhaps one of the only men who could turn a gang of petty criminals into the elite army known as the Foot Clan. Tatsu's history may be a mystery, but his actions leave nothing to the imagination. He will do whatever the Shredder's plan entails to take over NYC.
There will be no mistake this time. I go myself, and the rat kill it.
Though the franchise offered up several other henchmen, such as Toka and Razar. Tatsu stands head and shoulders above the rest.
Ninja vanish!
Number 7, the Three Storms, Thunder, Rain, and Lightning, Big Trouble in Little China.
Play your cards right. You live to talk about it.
This trio is comprised of 3 powerful beings imbued with the powers of thunder, lightning, and rain, and after which they're named.
You just listen to the old Pork Chop Express here now and take his advice on a dark and stormy night when the lightning's crashing and the thunder's rolling and the rain's coming down in sheets thick as lead.
Posing as mere executives in their master's shell company, they serve Lo Pan loyally to the bitter end.
And now, my beloved disciples, The moment of truth. The needle of love.
Once their true nature is revealed, they fight our heroes again and again.
No question, just get out of here, Jack, get out of here!
Though none of them proves to be a match for Jack Burton or Wang Chi, the storms greatly contribute to the otherworldly feel of the action that takes place throughout Big Trouble in Little China.
You know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
Cool?
Number 6, The Minions, the Despicable Me franchise.
Hey, Dave, listen up, please!
While Felonious Gru eventually sees the error of his ways and becomes a hero of sorts, the Minions are still loyal little henchmen nonetheless, who, unlike most henchmen, enjoy a great relationship with their boss.
Looking good, Captain! How's the family? Good? Alright.
These petite yellow creatures are difficult to control, as they follow their own every whim and speak their own language. Nevertheless, they maintain a close relationship with Gru, his children, and one another.
Minions assemble!
Popular enough to appear in several short films and a spin-off movie.
Hello, Papagena. Tu le vera con la papaya.
Very few henchmen manage to break out as stars themselves without rebelling.
What's happening to my minions?
Number 5, Carl Vresky, Die Hard.
No one kills him but me.
Carl reigned as the most interesting of Hans Gruber's henchmen.
If you listen to me, he would be neutralized already.
I don't want neutral, I want dead.
That's saying a lot, considering this group of high-level thieves also consisted of the gun-wielding, chocolate-munching Uli. Carl really brought his A-game, however, especially when John McClane killed his brother.
One blood, you'll have it!
This resulted in a vengeful fight involving chains, guns, and fists.
We're both professionals. This is personal.
Then, just when everything appeared to be resolved, Carl returns to take one last shot at McClane. Can Carl please come back from the dead for a second time for Die Hard 6?
I hear you. We'll be ready.
Number 4, Bob the Goon, Batman.
Let him go! Or I'll do Gordon!
A seemingly unassuming figure in a film filled with over-the-top characters, it appeared unlikely that Bob would be all that memorable.
Take off the mask.
Against all odds, though, this goon has spawned something of a cult following over the years.
Remember, you are my number one guy. Yes, sir.
The only man who seemed to get the Joker both before and after his disfiguring accident, Bob would have stood by his side no matter what they were faced with.
You must possess strength to inflict pain, Bob. We've got a flying mouse to kill, and I want to clean my claws.
Killed by the clown prince of crime himself out of frustration, the Joker may have loved mayhem, but we still believe he must have regretted killing his number one guy on some level.
Bob? Gun.
Number 3, Luca Brasi, The Godfather.
His name is Luca Brasi. He helps my father out sometimes.
Vito Corleone doesn't make decisions lightly. So, when you're handpicked as his personal enforcer, who are you to argue?
Quanti soldi sono buoni?
$50,000. Da principio.
With Luca by his side, he'll never want to refuse one of Don Corleone's offers.
Don Corleone, I am honored and grateful that you have invited me to your home on the wedding day of your daughter. And may that first child be a masculine child.
If the Godfather needs anyone scared or killed, he unleashes his fiercest ally. Luca is like a pit bull whose bite massively outweighs his bark.
Luca Brasi held a gun to his head, and my father assured him that either his brains or his signature would be on the contract.
Embodied by a former professional wrestler and enforcer for the Colombo crime family, Lenny Montana brought his life experience to this role, and it shows.
I pledge my ever-ending loyalty for your daughter's bridal purse.
Thank you, Luca. My most valued friend.
Number 2, Gogo Yubari, Kill Bill Volume 1. When we think of henchmen, we doubt Go-Go is the vision that comes to mind.
もっとマシな頼み方ないの?
After seeing her in gleefully violent action, though, it's impossible to leave her off a list like this.
Go-Go may be young, but what she lacks in age, she makes up for in madness.
Wielding a chain whip and rope dart, this 17-year-old schoolgirl is just as deadly as the Crazy 88.
私とやりたいんだ。笑うなよ。やりたいのかやりたくないのか。どっちだ。
やりたい。
Akin to a chained beast waiting to be released, Go-Go clearly relishes the opportunity to show off her skills. And we only wish we got to see more.
See what I mean?
Alas, Go-Go may be good, but the bride is better. Before we reveal our #1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
There are children here somewhere. I can smell them.
Once I know it's there, then I'll tell you where he is. Okay?
Not okay.
Why not?
Now, we don't even know who the hell they are. You don't kill people you don't know. That's a rule.
Are you ready to die, little girl?
It might be, if I have people hear that shit stain you call a face.
#1, Jaws, The Spy Who Loved Me, and Moonraker.
You know him?
Not socially. His name's Jaws. He kills people.
A Bond movie without henchmen would be like peanut butter without jelly.
Interesting.
While there are many greats like the hat-throwing Oddjob, the metal-mouthed Jaws casts the largest shadow.
Jaws. I'm assigning you the task of recovering the microfilm copy of the tracking system.
A man with a menacing presence, overpowering strength, and ingenuity in the art of killing. We certainly love to watch Jaws at work, but we wouldn't want to run into him in a dark alley.
He must have it, or you wouldn't be here.
You don't know who he is. He's on our records a professional killer.
Called Jaws?
He proved to be such a memorable henchman that he appeared in multiple 007 movies. And we can only hope we'll see another Bond henchman take a similar bite out of Mr. Bond someday. Do you agree with our list? Who's your favorite movie henchman?
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
For more evil top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Papa.